So you probably
That's what I was
change the
asking.
input, wouldn't you? Because
That's
this,
what I was thinking.
you have to change the input on this device to be directly for the HDMI that's connected to it, instead of sharing content, because otherwise you're sharing and you're still duplicating the screen.
Right.
Okay,
So, yeah, you would have to kind of finagle some of the stuff back here
okay.
to make it happen.
We probably don't want to finagle, do we?
I would think, yeah, I would
We
think
want to
maybe,
keep finagling to a minimum.
I would maybe not
Yes.
do that. But if
Finagling
you
leads
would,
to shenanigans,
But
and
you could
shenanigans
easily
lead to trouble.
extend screen for the one display on the left.
Yes,
yeah,
The way it's set up.
from ABC
Yep.
to,
okay.
yeah, I would not maybe do it, like try to do it on the poly side of things.
Because we'll never get Polly back if we do.
Right, so that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
so poly does not make displays.
Right.
So the reason we have two different, and I think, I probably didn't, I wasn't clear on that at the beginning. Poly does not make displays, Poly makes video conferencing headsets, all kinds of stuff like that. So Viewsonic partners with Poly, we partner with both of them, so we're putting a Viewsonic panel on a Poly piece of equipment. So we're running this in Poly mode, but just like a TV, this has several different inputs. But it is put together in a way that it's going to display Poly on default. So if you kind of go in there and start messing around,
Excellent.
it does get a little bit complicated. So let me show you guys, just, I've shown Corey's team before. Let's see. Oh, I don't have my touch cable plugged in. Let me see. I have one in my bag. I was going to show you all the My Viewboard software, which is really neat that you guys have access to, in case y'all wanted to use it. Are y'all good? Do y'all want to see the software?
I would.
Okay. I think it's really neat. There's a lot of different tools about it that are pretty cool. So what I'm plugging in right now is just a printer cable. And if I can find the other end of it.
Do they not have one on the system?
There is one. I don't know where it's plugged into right now. Let's see. This was my highlighter that I put on there yesterday when I left the training to remind myself that these were my cords, not to leave them. 'Cause my husband's like, how many cords are we going to order off Amazon? I'm like, well, until I can remember to bring them home. So I'm going to put this touch cable in here. Let's see. It's just a printer cable. I should have done this before, sorry. I wasn't thinking. I'll show this, but I think it's a really neat software. I don't know where in the college level you could use it, but I was talking to Nate and Renee at base camp earlier. Let's see. All right, Jay, help me out here. I can't see everything. Touch cable. Or maybe it's right here. Ah, got it. I didn't even have to use mine. Sorry. This is y'all's adapter. I'll put it right here.
Okay.
Remind me to put it back on. Okay. There we go. So this is the My Viewboard software. So you guys have access to this, and actually, everyone in your domain, I don't know if you guys have like a Northwest email domain, Northwestern email domain, but everyone in your domain has access to this. So from any Windows PC, any browser, anything, you guys can actually, we can set you up and get you on a call. I know Basecamp is already set up. You can use this software on your panel, but because you have one Viewsonic product, they allow for everybody in your domain to have access, which is awesome because it's a really cool resource. So I'm still in the call over here. So there's an app. I can log in down here using my Google credentials, Microsoft credentials, whatever. I could also just manually type it in, but there's an app called My Viewboard Companion. And now the reason that I like to talk about this software is because I had a Viewsonic panel in my classroom, And it was not until I got this job that I knew that I had access to this free software. So I feel like it's kind of one of those things that gets dropped because people are using it to do what we've been talking about, extending displays and just showing content, but like not knowing that there's a whole nother aspect of it. So I can actually click this QR code and scan that. You're gonna see it's logging me in. So it's gonna come over here, it's registering my name. You see right here, it's linking my Google Drive. So now any documents that I have, I can share from here. I can annotate from here. You guys saw that I could annotate from here and had 4 different colors that I could go to by clicking. But if I click this again, it's going to bring up a much more robust version of those light tools on the side. So then I can come in here, I can annotate, I can pull in a file, and then to the screen recording, I'll show you guys that in just a second. Let's see. I always say there's like 2 types of people. There's people with the drafts that are like super organized, and then there's people like me. And it's just like a stroke of luck on which one you click. And one of these days I'm gonna do it really good. I'm gonna have it. So I have a PDF in my Google Drive that maybe I wanted to share. This one's on common and proper nouns, but you might have one on whatever content it is that you're teaching. So I can actually use my tools here. I can annotate over things. Tell them they're going to do numbers 1 and 4. I could use the highlighter. Tell them don't forget to write their name and date. This is really great too. These tools, if you have a curriculum that you already use. I know I worked with someone in South Alabama the other day, and they had an ag curriculum that they already used. But they were like, but it would be great to be able to use these tools on top of that ag curriculum. So there's this tool right here, and it's just the Windows toggle tool. So what this is going to do is when I click that, it's just going to bring up my computer as I know it. So I tell people all the time, if you don't want to learn anything new, just open up the MyViewBoard software and click that Windows toggle tool, and it brings with you to your computer screen all of those tools. So now, if I wanted to pull up my ag curriculum, I could, and I could screen record that, I could annotate over it, because I have those tools right here. And you may have someone who's been teaching a long time and they say, you know, I don't even like to see those tools. Those tools are bothering me, they're distracting me from my lesson. So you can just click those little crosshairs and move them out of the way. You're teaching the way you've always taught. Go ahead.
What was the name of the app for the phone?
It's called MyViewBoard Companion.
MyViewBoard Companion.
And I'll show you what it looks like. It's like a little red cloud. It's a red cloud with a little whiteboard on it.
Got it. Awesomeness.
Yes, and so it's really neat that you have that Windows toggle tool feature. And we'll want to get your domain linked, and you can actually pull in all of your users. So then I can click back over here. Again, lots of really neat things. It has YouTube, so you can actually embed YouTube pages onto here. I don't know on the collegiate level that you would want that so much. It has a true Google image search. So if I was doing a lesson on nouns, and my student said that there was a dog that was a noun, it's going to bring up filtered images of dogs with great resolution. And also, we're going to talk about digital citizenship because these are ones that have permission to be used. And you can just drag and drop them onto your canvas. You can resize them, make them as big or small as you want them to be, which is really neat. So you can do that through here, but you could also go to the Windows toggle tool and just pull up your Chrome browser. One thing that I think would be really neat for you guys if you're wanting to do lessons, and we're just getting Microsoft Teams, and our office in Birmingham is updating all of our emails, and they told us we weren't going to have access to email, but I keep getting these little pop-ups, so I'm not really sure what's going on over there, so I apologize for all that. So if you wanted to screen record or screen capture something, you can do that by clicking this little button right here. And here you have different options to just screenshot something just like you would do on your phone. You can screenshot the whole page, you can freehand what you want to screenshot, you can draw a square. This little thing that looks like a cassette tape is if you only wanted your audio to be recorded. But this one right here to me is like awesome. So if I click that, it's going to bring up down here a little recording toolbar. So you'll see that it's picking up the mic on my laptop, it's going along as I talk. So I can screen record, I can live stream something if I wanted to. So if you wanted to live stream somebody doing someone's hair to someone at home, you could live stream that if you needed to. Or you could just screen record it and like upload it to YouTube, upload it to Google Classroom, whatever y'all's learning management system is. I don't know if y'all use Canvas or Blackboard.
Canvas.
Okay. You could do it like that. So I can click the green check mark. It's going to count down. And then anything I do from this point on is going to be recorded. So I can talk about the dog, I can talk about what a common noun is, what a proper noun is. I could go to Windows, I could pull up a YouTube video, I could share something here and tell them that they're going to go to this file right here. I could draw a shape, I could erase something. And then I could actually come over here and click pause. Well, I have to click the mouse first. Sorry. And I can click pause, and you'll see that the red light stops flashing. And what that does is it's going to stop the video, but there's not going to be any time lapse in it. So a common example I use is if the principal comes over the intercom and they start making announcements, or if you need to redirect Johnny, but you don't want that to be on your recording, you can click pause. Your video is going to not have like a 2-minute time lapse. It's going to just pause where you were. It's not going to record anything you do. You can click play again. It starts to flash and you know that it is now recording that content again. So I can come up here and it's now recording everything I'm doing. And then to take it a step further, I can actually turn on closed captions. So with a click of a button right there on that little microphone, you're going to see it's going to start picking up what I'm saying. It's going to record those captions as well because they're on my screen. So we were talking about this with Nate and Renee. If you were recording something and you had any students with accommodations or you felt like it might be something that they would miss, you can actually go in and turn on those closed captions, and it's recording those as well as any annotations that you might be doing throughout the time. You know, tell them, stop chatting me. And it's going to get all of that stuff. So I can keep those annotations going. You come down here and click stop. You're going to see it's automatically going to convert that to an MP4 file. And I can play it back. I'm not going to make y'all listen to the whole thing again, but I will fast forward and now you see that it's actually recorded those closed captions on top of the video. So that's really neat. So you know that when you're on a Zoom call, it takes a while for you to actually, for your video to actually convert. So if you recorded your Zoom meeting and you're just doing it on your laptop, it's not going to convert that to an MP4 until the meeting has ended. But you see how quickly this one did. So if you had a lesson that you wanted to do, or if you knew you were going to be out and you said, hey, I know my students need to watch this, but I can't physically be there, you could record this on your laptop or on your panel, save it to your Google Drive or your Microsoft OneBox or OneDrive or whatever you guys use. I just click save. And remember when I signed in, it linked to my Google Drive. Now I have my Google Drive right here. Or I can actually save it to the PC that's plugged in. So I'm going to click Google Drive. And this is how my Google Drive gets so unorganized, because then I show this in things, and I click save, and it's going to upload it. Now I can go and get in my car. In my recent files, I'm going to have this video. So that's really neat. And super cool. I think it's a tool that can be used in a number of different ways. Another thing is, if you do another lesson, it's really good if you're doing math, if you're doing electrical, and you're like annotating all over your screen and it's something that you wanted to keep. You could save that file. Obviously, a lot of these icons are going to be really familiar to you. You could save that file, you could print that page. You also could do a QR code of your lesson. So it's going to generate a QR code that's specific to this lesson. So then, you guys can try it when it comes up. If you wanted to scan that QR code, I don't know if you guys want to try it. It's going to bring up that link. And now my lesson is right there to be seen.
Awesome. Holy cow.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
A really, really neat feature of that My Viewsonic software. So, and I was telling Nate this earlier, I think a lot of teachers in the wake of distance learning have found a way to accomplish what they need to accomplish, but those things might come with fees. A lot of people are paying for like Screencastify or Canvas, and different things like that have a built-in screen recording function or video platform, but that's not necessarily what it was designed for, so it's not as good. This software is awesome. It's free to all of your users, and so what I tell people is use what you need, but if there's a tool that you need to make happen and you don't already have something existing for that, chances are you probably have it built into here. Or if there's like Screencastify, which is like a screen recording thing that a lot of districts are paying for, they already have Viewsonic access, but they didn't realize that that was something that they could eliminate the need for there. So they can, this is a resource to me that has a lot of tools in one spot instead of using a lot of different things. So I'll give y'all a card. I have like a YouTube channel that explains all of the different tools. So if you wanted to get on there and do that, you could. They're really just like informal 5-minute videos on those tools. But you also can, let me see if it'll work. I don't know if I'm on the network here. But through that app, there's a paper airplane. So if I wanted to take y'all's picture, I can. And then I can actually use that airplane. Probably it's not going to work today just because I don't need it to. But it's throwing it to the panel. It did work. So you see up here there's a bell. It gives me a notification with a 1 in it. And I can click that. And I can click yes on my phone. It actually threw that picture of y'all right up here to my canvas. I didn't have to pull anything from the Google Drive or anything like that. So if you do have a student who's doing an excellent job on their cosmetology and you wanted to share that with someone, you can say, hey, look how great they're doing. Take the picture, throw it up to the board. We see this all the time in the K-12 arena for positive reinforcement, or just like if you were looking at a document and someone else is at this end of the table, instead of saying, hey, here you go, and passing it down, you can be like, here, now everybody can see it on a large scale.
Sweet.
So lots of different, and I tell people all the time, like, after this training, your brain's going to be thinking for 3 days, oh, I can use it for this, I can use it for this. Like, you know, you start to realize areas that you can use this that you didn't know that you needed. So that's through that app. We can get you guys set up with a Viewsonic rep to be able to link all of your users. That I know that's not necessarily part of the poly thing, but that is part of what you guys have bought, you have access to, so I didn't want y'all to miss out on that important resource if it's something you think you can use. You might just need to go home and tell your kindergarten teacher wife about it, and she can use it. But I think it's really neat. Any other questions? I know. Let me take a deep breath. It's 58 minutes. Anything?
I'd like to go across the street and see about our stuff and see if it'll work. I don't know that it's ever been.
Y'all's systems over there? Yeah, we can walk over there and try to turn it on.
Try to turn it on and see just